안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 온 션입니다. So in this video, I wanted to explore what it's like moving to Asia as a Westerner. There are a lot of things to get used to, and some of them are a bit shocking. I interviewed a friend of mine who lived in Taiwan for quite a long time. We explored our experience with culture shock in Korea versus Taiwan. This was an awesome interview. You guys are gonna love it. Let's get right into it. And we're here with Stan today, who has lived in Taiwan for around 8 years. Is that correct?
That's correct. My name is Stan. I used to live in Taiwan for 8 years. Now I live in Poland, and I have a channel about my life in Poland and my life in Asia.
So we're talking about things that were shocking to us when we moved to Asia. For me, that's Korea. For Stan, that's Taiwan. Culture shock. So I'll begin. So the first thing I have is superstitions. I was an English teacher in Seoul and in other parts of Korea for around 3 years. And one thing I always remember is whenever I wrote somebody's name on the whiteboard in red, my students would freak out. Like they're like, teacher, don't use the red marker to write someone's name. To me, as an American, I'm like, what's the problem? But in Korea, there's a lot of superstitions like this. You can't write someone's name in red. You can't put 4, the number 4, in an elevator for floor because 4 means death.
Actually, when you said about writing the names in red marker or the number 4, that's very similar in Taiwan. For the number 4, even in the hospitals, there is no 4th floor. There is 1, 2, 3, 5, and it goes on.
So also in Korea, there's a connection between pigs and money and wealth. So if you dream at night about pigs, that means that you're gonna be rich or that you're gonna find some money or make some money. Do you have anything like that with like animals in Taiwan?
There is a culture of, in the stores, they like place the cat. The cat with a paw. It means that it will bring more money to the store owner. It's a part of Japanese culture because Taiwan used to be a part of Japan from 1895 till 1945. You can find a lot of influences from the Japanese culture in Taiwan. But for the pigs, not sure. I have never encountered anything related to the pigs in Taiwan. For me, the first culture shock, it was a very positive culture shock. When I arrived in Taiwan, I was shocked by how friendly are the people to the outsiders, to the foreigners. And you know, if I took metro or if I went for a cup of coffee, many people strangers just approached me, asked if I like it here in Taiwan, if I can speak Chinese, why did I come to Taiwan, what do I enjoy about Taiwan the most. And they're very friendly. Some of them were offering the help, said if you need a guide or if you need to show you around, just here is my phone number, and we're very happy to see some new friends. What about you? Are the people that friendly in Korea to the strangers?
That's a good question. So in Korea, talking to strangers in general, like on the street or in the subway or on a bus, is definitely not something that most people do. Yeah, as a YouTuber here who has interviewed a lot of people in like the street, doing street interviews, interviewing Koreans is way harder than interviewing foreigners because Koreans just don't really like talking to strangers. And especially older Koreans I have found are extremely difficult to get on camera and to interview. They just don't like talking to strangers. So it's not that Koreans are rude, because Koreans are very kind and they'll help people in an emergency just the same way you're describing Taiwanese people. But in general, there's less of a openness to connect with outsiders. And I've noticed that difference. So that's interesting that in Taiwan it's kind of opposite. They're very warm and friendly, right, as you're saying.
That's a little bit like in Japan, in Korea. People are, I don't know, maybe they're afraid that there is a foreigner who is speaking English and they think that their English is not good enough. But if we talk about Taiwanese people, most of them speak pretty good English. They have very good command of English. So I don't know, maybe some people are shy.
That's actually a very good point. The fact that a lot of Koreans, I think, are scared that they'll speak English poorly. So they see a foreign face and they're like, oh, I don't think I can do this. So there definitely are a lot of people that are like that. So another thing that really shocked me here in Korea is their love for sweet potatoes. Sweet potato lattes, sweet potato on pizza, other sweet potato snacks. And I love sweet potatoes, you know, the actual food, but it just doesn't fit on pizza or in coffee for me. Like, it's just really weird, and that was definitely shocking for me.
The Taiwanese, they do love their sweet potatoes. You can find it in every convenience store, and some people will tell you that the island of Taiwan, it looks like a sweet potato. So yeah, that's pretty similar. You can find it everywhere. Do you know that they have a culture of milk tea? tea, bubble milk tea. Both in Taiwan and in Japan, people just like putting those bobas everywhere. And even in Taiwan right now, I've heard that there is a pizza place where they put those bubbles from the bubble tea like on top of the pizza. So it's a sweet pizza.
Weird, milk tea pizza. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Yeah.
My number 2 culture shock is, it's also a very positive thing. It's the level of convenience in Taiwan, because most of the stores are open till late and you can do pretty much everything all around the clock, especially because of the convenience store. You can print out the documents, you can pay your bills, you can have a dinner, you can have a lunch, you can have a coffee, they have coffee machines there, and you can do pretty much everything you need, and that's all around the clock. And not only in big cities like Taipei or Taichung or Kaohsiung, but also in smaller cities, so that's very convenient. One of the most convenient countries that I have ever been to.
Yeah, we have amazing convenience stores here and they're open like all night, 24 hours, but we don't have a printing machine and we don't have ways to print, you know, pictures, I think like you described in Taiwan. Similar, very convenient, but I don't really go to the convenience store that often, admittedly. Another point I have is the couple culture here was a bit shocking. Like, there are so many couple holidays. There's Valentine's Day, there's White Day, there's Black Day, which is kind of a little bit different, but there's Christmas, there's Pepero Day, where you give snacks to your romantic partner. There's so many like things for couples here. There's couple clothing, like all this stuff. It's just different than what I'm used to, and that was really shocking when I got here. What's that like in Taiwan?
I think amongst the youngsters, the younger generation, it is pretty close. People do like buying the matching clothes, matching phone cases. There also is a White Day. There also is a Valentine's Day. My wife is Taiwanese, and I realized that she really likes buying matching clothes. Like, we should have the same hoodies, we should have the same t-shirts. When we go out, we should wear the matching clothes so that everybody knows that we're a couple. So that's pretty unique, actually. Not only in Korea, but in Taiwan also. And my number 3 might not be as positive. It is not also negative. I was shocked by the population density in Taiwan, because in the evenings, people like going out. There are night markets, there are bars, there are restaurants open till late. Every day in the evening, you can find many people outside. They're socializing, they're making friends, they're going out. In Europe, in the evening, it's more calm and silent. So for me, it was very different. It's not bad, it's not good, but it's just different.
Yeah, it sounds like it's very similar. Like, I just went to a park today. Beautiful day outside, beautiful park, and there were so many people. There were people in tents, people on mats eating, having a picnic. There were people playing with a ball. You go to the river, you go hiking, there's always just tons of people. And yeah, I think it's just a land size thing. Like, Korea and especially Seoul is just so small with so many people that if there's something cool that's fun to do, you can bet that a lot of people are going to be doing that thing. And just like you say, I don't think it's good or bad, it's just different, you know? Because in the US is massive. So like, you go to a mountain or like a huge park and maybe you won't even see another person. But yeah, that's really interesting. Well, that was amazing, Stan. Thank you for sharing all those interesting things with me. It was so cool to learn. If you guys want to know more about Stan or follow his channel, I'll link it down below.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Alright, see you next time. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
지금까지 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 저는 션이었습니다. 다음에 또 봐요. Bye.